Before I begin, let me just remind everybody, and I'm probably going to have to repeat this for the stragglers, the newbies that come around here who happen to think I'm just like every YouTuber. Wow. And I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna educate you, and I'm gonna show you just how fucking stupid people are, and to give you a good fucking example as to why you need to know who the fuck I am. You understand? Don't come at me like you know more than me. You stupid motherfuckers. You stupid, ignorant pieces of shit. You see, folks, people are so stupid they have regressed down to the level of animals that don't have any critical thinking, that basically think based upon impulse. And that's the reality. So they do what the media tells them. They do what the media tells them. If the media says something, repeats it over and over again, they believe it. They believe it. So they don't have any intellect, any ability to decipher things, explore things on their own. And I'm talking about 99% of the human population. And we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and do a mic test here.
This is the most important list I've ever made in my life. It was made for
So, you see this con man, this piece of trash. So we're going to go over this video here. And I should go over all the videos that I've made. And I want you to go through, we're going to see, I guess I've made about 30 or 40 videos on this fraudster. But I should go through all the videos that I make because people just aren't too fucking smart. I give people too much credit. And it's unfortunate. But now, Tom is going to show you this. Look, notice he's serious and he's so confident, right? This is the danger of this fraudster, criminally insane sociopath. That's what he is. He's a fraudulent, criminally insane sociopath. That's Tom Nash. He doesn't give a fuck who the hell he hurts. He wants the money. He's a money worshiper. He's going to throw you and everybody under the bus. And that's the general theme of all these YouTubers, in case you guys don't fucking know that. I've been mentioning it, I've been reminding you all that over and over again. YouTube has been created. Why the fuck do you think I'm shadow banned by YouTube? You don't think that YouTube goes through screens, through its transcript, and puts the words that I say into its little algorithm, and I'm calling YouTube a scam? You don't think that affects the channel? No, because you all are fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid. I'm the guy that wrote about 15 years ago how Facebook was going to be recording every keystroke that everyone made and putting into computer algorithms to basically detect, read your mind, to sell higher grade advertisements, focused advertisements. Of course, people didn't believe me. But anyway, so I'm going to go over this video, and you won't remember when Tom Nash, and by the way, anybody out there that doesn't realize Tom Nash is an absolute fucking fraud, doesn't know anything about investments, you're fucking stupid. You're a loser in life, and you're going to remain a loser. If you're that fucking stupid, you're going nowhere in life. I can assure you that. You're not going to get far at all. First and foremost, you're goddamn too stupid to see the obvious. Guys like Tom Nash and Meet Kevin are scam artists. And all these other fake YouTube gurus. So you're starting off with a disadvantage being stupid. But even worse so, you're actually filling your mind with these con men. So you're never going to get anywhere in your life. The smart people are staying off of ScamTube. Okay? I need some WD-40 for this fucking chair. So should I get some? So I'm going to play this for you guys. And let me remind you of something. Early on, when I came on ScamTube for the first time ever, even though I was around, I specifically remember when ScamTube was launched in about 2005. It wasn't ScamTube at that time because you know why? Because it wasn't monetized, because people posted videos because they wanted to. And now, of course, YouTube has all types of bells and whistles, and they brainwash all the channel owners, even the few who don't start a channel for business. The vast majority do, but even the ones that don't, YouTube infests them, brainwashes them, and turns them into a money-worshipping piece of shit as well. So I didn't go on YouTube ever. I came out in 2022, beginning of 2022, to call out the scammers. Specifically, the person that enraged me the most was Meet Kevin. And I called this motherfucker out. Never heard a word from that bitch. Folks, nobody gonna confront me. They're only gonna confront fucking lightweights. You understand? And then I saw one particular fat blob who was pretending to call out Meet Kevin. And so I exposed this guy. He was trying to start his own grift. And I nipped that in the fucking bud. Boom, motherfucking boom. Busted that shit down. Then I saw Tom Nash, another scammer. And I remember this guy. I mean, folks, the backstory from these guys, if you believe their backstory, you've got mental illness. Tom Nash comes out and claims he was a corporate analyst. And he quit his job, his high-paying job, to come on YouTube and expose scammers for you. I mean, you believe that? Then, of course, later on, that was when Tom was trying to get viewers and subscribers. See, Tom's an internet marketer. That's what he was doing. He's an internet marketer. He doesn't know anything about investments. And so Tom wanted to get subscribers by doing what? Pulling the Meet Kevin routine. Pretending to expose Grant Cardone. And I say pretend, why? Because not really exposing the guy. None of these fucking idiots on YouTube have the expertise to expose anybody. None of them. You show me somebody. Nobody. CoffeeZilla, the fake detective guru. He built Tom Nash's channel. That's right. He built Tom Nash's channel. He was too stupid to even realize Tom Nash is a fraud. He was too stupid to realize Patrick Boyle was a failed hedge fund manager. Right? So Tom decided to go out and start, exposing guys that were already exposed. Everybody knew, like Dan Bilzerian and Grant Cardone and other people, right? Build up his subscriber base, because that was the genre at the time. And once he did that, he got enough people. Tom starts coming out now and pretending to be a stock guru. That's when he came out and told everyone that he worked for a top three Wall Street firm for more than, 10 years or something like that, as a senior analyst. Anybody remember that back line, that backstory he gave everybody? That's what he was pushing for a long time. A top 3 or top 4 Wall Street firm for more than 10 years as a senior analyst. Right? That's fraud. That's absolute fraud, because he never worked as an analyst. Folks, I pointed this out from day one. And guess what? None of the other people out there on ScamTube, they never came to me and said, hey, we want to get to the bottom of this with Tom Nash. You're an expert. You obviously know what's going on. Let's talk to you about nobody wanted to talk to me. You know why? Because they're all fucking scammers and they're all pretending to call people out and they were afraid of me. You think I don't fucking know how this whole song and dance works, folks? I've been living this shit for 20 years. It's the same storyline. No matter the genre. You've got the complete explicit fakes, the obvious fakes and frauds out there. And then you got the guys trying to climb the gravy train to be one of them, pretending like they're going to call them out. You see, the last thing they want to do is to talk to a real expert and honest person. And that's why you never heard anybody really call Tom Nash out. You know what's funny? What's funny is that this Scott Schaefer guy, YouTube grifter, and I already exposed this guy so many times. Scott Schaefer comes out and all Scott can do is do background checks on people, like pay for fucking services to look at their personal information. That's all. That's the extent Scott can do. He's worried about, stupid things like Kevin's DUI. Dude, that has fucking nothing to do with anything. Why don't you call out Kevin's lack of expertise in the investment world? Same with Tom Nash. And the reason why is because Scott Schaefer has no fucking expertise. He's a fucking clown. Like all these guys. None of these guys have any expertise. So Scott comes out with this little video. Oh, well, Tom is, he was living here and but Scott never said anything about all the fraud Tom was pulling related to his claims of being an investment analyst or all his discounted cash flow fucking horse shit. None of that stuff. And what's amazing, the most amazing thing is that Scott was too stupid to realize that you got this guy, Mike Stathis, who immediately called out Tom Nash, knew he was a fraud, didn't have to fucking dig up anything because of my expertise. But you see, it's not about that. It's not about uncovering somebody. It's all about Scott making it look like he's some kind of detective so he can make more money off advertisement revenues and affiliate links. These guys are all pieces of shit. All of them. I would like all these people on YouTube to just disappear as soon as possible. I would like them all to disappear. I think that they're fucking Satan. Everybody monetizing on ScamTube is working with the devil. And people are too fucking stupid. They're just too goddamn stupid and helpless and useless. It's unfortunate. It's sad. And they don't even realize they're fucking themselves over by listening to these fucking scammers on YouTube. Every single genre, it's filled with scams. The only exception, if anything incredible, is like maybe say academic stuff. Professors showing their classes and stuff like that. But hell, that's pretty rare. A lot of these academic professors now, they want to grift on YouTube and they want to come out and do their little Jordan Peterson bullshit and sell their books and do all this. I'm a podcaster, Great example is you got this Dave Cullum, this complete fucking crackpot shithead who obviously is afraid of me because he would never go up against me live on a neutral platform so I could debunk all his fucking horse shit. Maybe we'll cover this guy later on or some other time again. Come on, Dave, let's go. This is the guy he's helping to fuel the nutcase crackpot gold pumping themes out there. The horse shit, the market's going to collapse, dollar's going to zero, fiat is worthless. These people, well, those are the people, they don't have mental disease, they're just fucking con artists. The people that believe them have mental disease. By the way, if you believe these fucking gold pumping shitheads with their hyperinflation, dollar, fiat, all this crap, I'm the guy that wrote the goddamn book, America's Financial Apocalypse, you motherfuckers. And they're all copying me now. I'm the guy, right? If anybody knows about what the fuck's going on, it's me. But guess what? I'm not a narrative guy. I'm a real analyst. I know when things are good and when they're bad. See, I don't sell gold. I don't sell securities. I don't sell advertisements. And I sure as fuck don't sell my soul. You got it? Boom, motherfucking boom. Okay? YouTube has become a whole shit show of scams. Now, anyway, let me. I don't want to get off the topic here. Let me get back to Tom Nash. So Tom, you might recall a video that he pulled down. Now, Tom has got a history. Some of you out there, I would like you to please save all his videos and start from the end. Start from the oldest, because what he does is every few months he'll go back and he'll review things and he'll gradually delete old videos. I don't know if you guys noticed that. He'll also change the titles of videos, right? And of course, he also edits videos as well when he looks like the idiot that he is. Somebody save all his fucking videos, please. Okay? You got all the titles. You're going to have to timestamp everything. This guy's a fraud. I believe he belongs in prison. Now, that's my own standard. Unfortunately, only the most egregious cases of fraud are people sent to prison. But I believe, these people on YouTube, they qualify for that. And by the way, let's not forget, people, somebody make a goddamn website. Somebody make a website to serve as a clearinghouse for these motherfuckers. Okay? Somebody make a website so you can gather people there, you can talk about, you can share evidence, so you can form a case to submit to the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission gets enough complaints, and you can call up the FTC on the phone. Okay? Got an 800 number, you can call them on the phone, you don't have to be in America. FTC has jurisdiction around the fucking world. Okay? They get enough complaints, they'll sue the motherfucker. You see? So, this goes with Tom Nash. This goes with Meet Kevin. Okay? All these guys. So, Tom had this video. He's all confident. And I'm going to play it for you guys just to remind you how dangerous this piece of garbage is. Remember, this is the guy, along with the little guys, little boys, the little boys, the little YouTube fake investment guru guys, Meet Kevin, Andre Jick, Graham Stephan, along with Tom Nash, Minority Mindset, and a few other grifters. They whored for FTX and other crypto scams. They were whoring for all these crypto scams. They were getting paid money to put people in harm's way. They don't give a fuck. And some people say, oh, well, it's not your fault. No, it is their fault. Anybody who's being compensated to push something that ends up being a scam, if I'm in charge of things, they're going to fucking jail along with the scammer. That's the price you fucking pay. That's the risk you fucking take. Do some goddamn due diligence. You see? Because if there's no fucking penalty, then there's no need to do due diligence. If there's no penalty, then you don't care that you're helping some criminal defraud the world. You get paid regardless. Okay? So Tom Nash made this video a few years back, claiming that the PE ratio didn't matter. Nobody uses PE ratio, he said. Find somebody on Wall Street, somebody that's ever worked in the investment world, and ask them. And they'll tell you. Anybody that talks about PE ratio is clueless. That's what he said. I made a video. Of course, I didn't save the original, but I've got the clip. And I completely expose his ass. And none of these fake exposers, none of these fake detective guys even mentioned that. Nobody ever mentioned any of that stuff because they're so fucking ignorant, folks. All these people on YouTube are batshit stupid. That's what they are. They're batshit fucking stupid. dumb as dog shit. They're not lightweights even. They're not even fucking paperweights. They're damn stupid. You're talking about the lowest of the low. At best, they're marginally employable. Most of them are unemployable. That's why they're on YouTube. They failed at life. And they're on YouTube to scam you. Okay. So Tom made this video. I called him out. And guess what? He removed the video. He said the only metric that matters is price to sales. That's what he said. We're gonna play that here in a second. Now, I'm telling you guys this because Tom now, as he has rebranded himself, he's recreated himself. Now he's Mr. Clickbait. He doesn't go over his little discount cash flow analysis anymore. Not in public anyway, because everybody called him out as a fraud. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Okay? So now what he does, buy this stock and retire. Buy this stock and never work again. Buy this and you can be a millionaire. Mr. Clickbait fucking. He thinks it's not a big deal. People are making fun. It's just clickbait. Clickbait is dishonest. It means you're a dishonest motherfucker. It means you're a fucking scammer. If you're using clickbait, you're not honest. You're a dishonest piece of shit. Fact. Okay? Anybody who uses clickbait, if you fucking trust them, you're a goddamn idiot. Dishonest. Okay. Let's play this video now. I want you to hear this. So Tom is using PE ratios now, in case you didn't notice. Now all he talks about is PE ratios. You're going to love this if you didn't know this. Let's listen. This video is from, I don't know, a few months ago. Okay, he wants to show you this. And notice his confidence. He's, wow. And you're going to hear the same confidence when he tells you PE ratios don't matter. Okay? Here you go.
This is the most important list I've ever made in my life. It was made 4 years ago, and it has generated me wealth of epic proportions. Generational wealth right here.
Yeah, sure it has. That list must be, then, a list of how you're going to scam people on ScamTube. How you're going to pretend to be an investment expert, how you're going to lie about your credentials and swindle people. That must be what the list is.
This guy's such a
generational wealth. Well, why the fuck are you on YouTube still if you got generational wealth? You're a liar, you're a fraud, you're a piece of garbage. Tom Nash, what's your real name? Why won't you tell us your real name? Because from day one, you knew you were going to come on ScamTube and defraud people. Tomer Nasher. You fucking rodent, you parasite, you money-worshipping, disgusting scammer. You belong to the parasite mafia, the enemy of humanity. You disgusting, filthy fraud. FTX whore, you lying sack of shit. Anybody that believes this guy, follows this guy, is a goddamn brainless idiot, and you're going to lose your ass. Guaranteed.
And the crazy part about it is that this list today...
Shut your fucking mouth, you loser.
30 seconds, and I'll show you the trading strategies I used that allowed me to quit my full-time job 2 years ago.
Another parasite. This is an ad on Tom Nash's channel. Tom Nash is not only a scammer and a fake investment guru who doesn't know the first thing about investments, and he's a pathological liar. He's also a business partner with this guy, with Toucan Sam. You know Toucan Sam? Look at this guy. Fucking bullshit. Let me get rid of this shit. So here's where Nash talks about now. He wants to apologize, basically. He wants to tell you long-term investors because he missed the crash. He doesn't know what's going on. And so he wants to this is where all these fake gurus come out now after the market collapsed. They have no fucking clue because this is pump the latest hot stock. They're fucking idiots. Oh, long-term hold. If you held this long, dollar cost average. And Tom Nash also throws out his fucking bullshit. I hate saying his name, Tom Nash. It's not his fucking name. He's a fraud. He's a liar. He throws out his discounted cash flow fucking horse shit. He doesn't know how to use it, and it's not even applicable to high-tech companies, even if he knew how to use it, which he doesn't. And then he throws out P/E ratio. He wants to focus on P/E ratio. Oh, really? P/E ratio? What did you learn about P/E ratio? You were saying nobody used it. A few years ago, you said anybody that uses P/E ratio is clueless. You see, I made a video exposing this fraud, and when he heard me talk about the fact that I'm a Wall Street top insider, and I claim that P/E ratio is used by the industry, it's used by every credible investor as one of the metrics. Once he heard that, not only did he pull his video down, which I'm going to show you here in a minute because I saved it, but he also started using the P/E ratio. That's how fucking stupid and clueless and as much of a fraud as this guy is. Complete fucking fraud scammer.
The point of this video is that if you watch their infomercials on YouTube, which is just an infomercial for the product, you notice that they talk all the goddamn time about P/E ratio this, and P/E ratio that. Now, all I want you to do after this video, don't trust my word for it, don't trust their word for it, go through their videos and see how many times they talk about P/E ratio as an investment decision mechanism and how it's important in investing, in value investing, in P/E. Go and find somebody who's ever worked in the financial industry, an analyst, somebody who worked in the trading floor, anybody with actual trading or investing experience, anybody from Wall Street that you can get a hold of, and ask them, how do you know that somebody's a clown, a buffoon, and is a fake? If they mention P/E, this is exactly what it is. If somebody mentions to you P/E, that means they've never worked a day in their life on Wall Street or in any sort of investment capacity, because nobody is using P/Es in the industry, literally nobody. And if you hear somebody talk about P/Es, that's like an immediate kind of giveaway. You know that they're just bullshitting. They're not from the industry. It's an irrelevant metric, and you can ask any investment professional, they'll tell you that. The only people who talk about P/Es are little boys on the internet who pretend to be value investors. That's how you know they're fucking fake. Simple as that. Just check me on this. The only metric that people in the industry actually use as far as multiples is price to sales. Nobody uses P/E. Trust me, it's just nonsense. Like in Russian we say, brед, пиздец.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Nash, you should go back to Russia, where, very corrupt country. You might be able to work as an analyst there because you're dealing with the bogus stock market. Now, let me just go ahead and be clear about this. Mr. Nash, you mentioned that all you got to do is find somebody that's worked on Wall Street as an experienced investor, a trader, an analyst. First of all, traders, the more you open your mouth, the more it's obvious that you were never an analyst, okay? That's obvious to me. Traders don't really care about any of that stuff. Oh, they're the last people that are going to look at anything in terms of fundamentals, okay? The second thing is that, let me explain to you who I am, in case you haven't figured it out by now. The name is Mike Stathis, and I run a research firm, AVA Investment Analytics. Now, I hope this gets to you because I want to hear what you have to say. Oh, well, he's a nobody. I worked at UBS. I worked at Bear Stearns. I've worked in venture capital, merchant banking. I've advised multi-billion-dollar hedge funds, venture funds, endowments, corporate treasury departments, mutual funds. I'm not even going to talk about my track record because I'd be here too long. I'm the top guy that predicted the financial crisis in detail, in depth, and I wrote about it in 2 books. I'm the only person in the world that not only wrote in a book, showed people, actually instructed them how to short the subprimes and the banks and home builders, but I'm also the only person in the world that predicted that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac would go bankrupt and be bailed out by taxpayers. I predicted that in a book. Okay, in 2006. And since that time, my track record has remained pretty remarkable. So I am a world-class analyst. I cover many things. And let me just tell you one thing right now. You're absolutely wrong. You absolutely have no idea what you're talking about. You are an absolute clown. PE ratios are exceedingly important. And for you to not understand that tells me that you have never been an analyst working on Wall Street. Absolutely not. Now, I'm going to educate all you kids out there who might have fallen for this con artist so that you're going to at least learn something. Here's the deal, okay? And he says that price to sales, that's the only metric that's used on Wall Street. I can't even begin to tell you how wrong that is. That's a joke. PE ratios are very important. Now, for certain stocks, obviously, you're not going to have a PE ratio. The stock has to be profitable. Tom apparently doesn't respect the importance of a PE ratio because, well, that's why he's gotten himself blown up into all these garbage stocks, many of which apparently are not making any money. But let me explain to you, Tom, let me give you a little education here on why a PE ratio is important. Now, there's many things that are important. I certainly don't focus on a PE ratio, but it's something that you do want to take a look at and keep an eye on depending upon the type of company that you're talking about. If it's more of a value company, folks, let me tell you, these guys they're low yield. You can get higher level, much higher level information free online than listening to these clowns. I'm telling you right. All right. So you heard that, folks. Tom Nash now talks about PE ratio all the time, right? But you heard what he had to say, how confident he was. You heard that. And this is the problem with this fraudster. He comes out, he's so confident, he's so emphatic about things. You're dealing with a pathological liar and sociopath. He's a complete fucking idiot. And if you believe anybody that thinks this guy has a fucking clue, you got to have your head examined. Something is wrong with your fucking head. Okay? But, you know, I mean, I'm talking to the same pool of people who fall for Meet Kevin and Stockmo and this Jeremy LaFaber. You know, he's like Mr. Haney's son from Green Acres, right? And this Paul Gabrielle. And you know, I could go on. Chris Sane, right? All these, I mean, folks, Humboldt Trader, they're all complete fucking idiots and frauds. All of them. And you people, the YouTube audience, there's something something wrong with your fucking heads. Honestly. Jesus fucking Christ. You people are in deep fucking trouble. You're listening to these frauds. Every genre. Trust me on that. You're in deep fucking trouble. I'm just being honest. So let's take a look now. I want to show you something here. So this is a video that was posted recently. Now it's from 2022, as you can see. Right, this is when I first came out exposing all these fraudsters. This is one of the first videos after a couple on Meet Kevin. I think I appeared around middle of February or something like that, 2022. And then, of course, the channel got attacked because I was exposing all these fucking grifters. You know, they felt threatened because I was exposing their only means of income because they're fucking losers. They can only make advertisement income off of YouTube. They don't have a real job. So, but I want to play this, and I want to show you guys something. I'm going to give you a good education here. Okay, and I've seen this over and over again, and this is why. Well, I'll get to it in a second. But go ahead and listen to this now. Let's listen to what this has to say here. You're a Russian. You're part of the bad people, the bad guys. Russia's going out and invading innocent people. You're a Russian. Nobody ever really likes Russians. And I can see why they wouldn't have any reason, or they would have no reason to like you, because you're a scammer. You're a scam artist. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Let's get this thing started.
Yeah, okay, great. The Tom Nash Show. He's got a show. Wow, look, the tickers. He must be connected to the market. He must be, oh, wow, and the bell.
As expected, it's 7.9% for year-over-year inflation, following 7.5 that could get revised. 7.9, we go to the Wayback Machine.
See if we can find something
higher
here.
Level of inflation.
Okay, shut up,
You're looking at
blabbermouth. This guy's a clown.
8.4% in June of 82 is your comp.
Okay, so let's start with inflation. Inflation is still here. Yeah, even though we talked about Ukraine for the past week, much like that uncle that comes for 2 days and stays for 2 months, inflation never left. For the past 2 weeks...
Like, why would he even mention that? Inflation never left. Inflation's going higher, Tom. It's going considerably higher. Why would you even say this? Maybe Tom's in touch with his audience. And his audience apparently is a bunch of morons. Let's take a look at the comments. Yeah, Tom, great analysis. Yeah, oh, wow, you cleared it up for me. You know, the typical cult member, stupid responses. I like your video because you're straightforward and don't ask for likes. You give good information for people to think for themselves. What? He doesn't ask for likes? Oh, okay. He tells you not to smash anything, not to buy anything, not to click anything. And he has Patreon membership, affiliate links. I mean, how stupid are these people? And they don't even check into anything he says at all.
We've been covering Ukraine, and rightfully so, but inflation is still here. And
why would it be gone, Tom? It's going higher, you bimbo. I mean, what? His audience must be 8-year-olds. That has to be it.
A better way to get reminded of another CPI cycle numbers. And the CPI is going to come out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time today. And according to all expectations, we're looking about, 7.8, 7.9%, which is, incidentally, it's going to be a new 40-year high. Unbelievable. But, look, it's not going to include any of the oil prices, any of the commodities craze. I mean, that comes later. It doesn't really get included in the CPI.
What? What? Did you hear that, folks? Now, folks, I've produced so many reasons. What an idiot. When you hear the term CPI, that's not core. How can he make this mistake? This is just shocking to me. Most of you probably don't even understand how crazy, how ridiculous for him it is to make this error. That's the problem with you all.
And by definition, this is already a bullshit way to measure inflation because it doesn't include food or energy or housing, the real estate market, stock market, so pretty much anything that...
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Core inflation, according to Tom Nash says core inflation. So first of all, he thinks that core inflation is the CPI. When you hear the CPI, he says that means core. It's not true. I mean, this guy, folks, if you didn't know before, all the videos that I've exposed him in, and back to the person on Reddit who basically said this guy's an internet marketer, and he kind of picked up some terms and learned some things. This is what I believe. I think that person is absolutely correct. Hats off to whoever that person is. Tom is saying that CPI is the same as core inflation. That's absolutely not true. And no one who's ever worked as an analyst or in the investment world, or I can't imagine anyone even with an undergraduate business degree, would make this mistake. It's just shocking to me. He's saying that the CPI is the core inflation. No, Tom, it's not. When you hear a report of the inflation numbers of the CPI, that's not core inflation. Okay? And then the next mistake he made, as you'll hear again, he said the core inflation doesn't include food and energy. That's correct. He also said it doesn't include housing and the stock market. Let's listen to that.
A way to measure inflation because it doesn't include food or energy or housing, the real estate market, stock market, so pretty much anything that's anything is excluded.
Anything that's anything is excluded from the core inflation. Did you hear that? Does that sound like a person who's got an MBA degree, who's a decade plus senior analyst, right, experience It doesn't include anything that's anything, right? Once again, Tom Nash says that core inflation doesn't include energy, food, housing, real estate market, and the stock market. Tom, newsflash, inflation doesn't include the stock market. It doesn't. The stock market is not. That's a completely different situation. Inflation includes things that customers, consumers, and businesses deal with. Goods and services that they purchase, the price of those items. You know why, Tom? Because consumers dictate most of the economy. And by the way, Tom, core inflation does include housing. It does include the real estate market, Tom. Folks, even the typical bozo kid on YouTube will look this stuff up and not make these mistakes. Tom figures he's got you guys so fooled. You're in a cult. You believe everything. He doesn't even have to look up anything. He's just blabbering disinformation. Let's hear that one more time. According to Tom Nash, core CPI doesn't include...
It doesn't include food or energy or housing, real estate market, stock market. So pretty much anything that's anything is excluded.
Anything that's anything is excluded from the core. I mean, this is just shocking to me. Virtually every single claim that comes out of this guy's mouth, I would say 98% of everything that comes out of his mouth, from what I have seen, is inaccurate. That's disturbing and shocking. And it's even more shocking that people actually follow this guy and they don't call him out. I mean, he was even called out on Reddit. But YouTube, no, they got mush for brains and they just accept all the bullshit. Seems like the people that pump out and blabber all the time, just keep pumping out content, people just consume it and accept it. Wow. Folks, it's not quantity, it's quality. And that's the way you should lead your whole life. That leads you to a fruitful life, a successful life. Quality, not quantity.
And speaking about people who know things ahead of time, let's talk about Palantir. So there's a really interesting chart right now circulating on Reddit and on Twitter. In fact, I retweeted it myself, showing you how since the price have started going down from the mid to high 20s in November, all the way down to what we're seeing right now, which is pretty much the DPO price, the percentage of ownership by institutional investors have been going up quite significantly. In fact,
did you all hear that little con artist tactic? Speaking of people who know things in advance, and he's basically saying, you see, I predicted that. I was telling you. Since November, the percentage of institutional investors owning Palantir has gone up by 50%. Nobody gives a flying fuck about the percentage of institutional investors in Palantir. While you've been talking about that nonsense, the stock has fallen by 50%. What they care about is the stock price collapsing. Okay? You're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. What you should be focusing on is the insider selling, which is what I've already disclosed previously. This is what you should be reminding people of. I can't show you the shares here, but you can see the value. This is the dollar amount and the date. All these insiders dumped Palantir. You can see a lot of it was November, December 2021. And our friend here, Alex Karp, Tom's mentor, he idolizes this guy. You can see how much he dumped in November alone, 100 million. More than 100 million, actually, right? October, he dumped another 100 million. Did he disappoint us in September? Let's see, well, his 48 million. Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't disappoint us, folks. Another 100 million in September. So September, 100 million. October, 100 million. November, 100 million. Does he tell you about that? No, he pumps Palantir when it's $22 and tells you he wants to buy more. He doesn't have enough money to buy more. How about August? Does he disappoint in August? 71 million. 42 million, so over 110 million in August. Okay. July, 42 million. Another 45 million. So you see that. July, 100 million. August, more than 100 million. Right? September, October, November. June, 49 million.
plus 47 million. Alex Karp is he's liquidating looks like 100 million, about 100 million almost every month here. Let's see how far he goes. May, close to 40 and 80, so it's 40 more, right? So almost 80 in May. April, another 42, another 60. There you go. Well, he's pretty consistent. Karp is pretty consistent. He's selling 100 million, about 100 million in most months in 2021. How come Tom Nash isn't telling you about that trend? And his friend, Peter Thiel, and I would have to believe that they're very, very close friends. Peter Thiel is openly gay, and I don't know about Karp, but he seems a little bit maybe like he's gay. Maybe they're lovers. That might explain why Peter Thiel, who funded this company, may have given Karp $2 billion in stock. See Peter Thiel here, 18th of February, dumps $505 million of Palantir. Of course, that was 5 days before Nash came out with his latest video pumping Palantir and telling you how great it was. And that's why the stock collapsed. Nobody wants to buy when the insiders are dumping the hell out of shares.
This is when the insiders were dumping all the shares. What happened? Palantir collapsed by 95%. Okay? You see that? Palantir collapsed all the way down to $5. See that? Maybe not 95, something close to that. Okay? Now let's take a look. I want to show you guys something here. This is the typical thing, because whenever I talk about Tom, and I have no doubt he was obviously a paid pumper for a lot of these bullshit stocks. And you can take a look. I mean, a lot of penny stocks, a lot of shit that went to zero. He's definitely paid pumper. And there may even be a paid pump going out with Palantir. But I mentioned, and you can watch the video yourself, okay? Here's the point. Anytime I mention Tom is a Palantir pumper, all his little fanboys or these Palantir fucking idiots come on and they focus on that. They focus on that. Let me show you here. For instance, let me show you, let's see here. Yeah. So this is a video. This is the original video where I'm showing Tom talk about claiming that nobody looks at PE ratios. This is the original video. I don't think I say anything about Palantir in the video at all, right? But what do you see here? Some guy, Palantir is going to be the most important company for the next decade. You understand? So you get this fucking confirmation bias. This is how stupid these people are, okay? And so you can see the video has nothing to do with the merits or lack thereof regarding Palantir. It has to do with the fraud who uses the fake name Tom Nash. I will say this about Palantir. Usually companies hyped up by the types of frauds and idiots as Palantir don't turn out so well. I don't know any credible people behind it, just pumpers. Aside from that, Palantir is not the type of company legit analysts waste time on. Palantir is not transparent, and it has an unqualified CEO who cashed out of the stock a long time ago. So, and this is all factual. It's all fact, right? There's nobody serious behind this fucking stock up until maybe recently, because they're making money killing people in the war. This is just all factual, okay? And let me show you this other comment now. This is the important point. So take a look. Another guy. Anytime you call Tom a Palantir pumper, you're going to get these stupid fucking idiots from YouTube. Part of the little, they remind me of the gold bugs, that are so fucking stupid. They don't have any common sense at all. Critical thinking is just not even, that's a pipe dream for these people. So, and you can, by the way, you can see the videos I've done on Tom Nash. Take a look. So don't form your opinion just by one video. You got to watch the whole fucking series to see what a complete fucking fraud the guy is. Okay. So take a look. This guy, okay, I saw through Tom Nash. Okay. Sometimes you got to put newest first for it to show all the comments. Here we go. Marco Polo. Okay. So you see this? So this is another guy. Looking at this video in 2025, Palantir rally looks very different. LOL. He misses the complete fucking point of the video. And I'm going to go ahead and explain it because maybe some of you people don't even get it as well. I'm explaining, just like when I was going over Alibaba 3 years ago and warning people about the risk, I'm explaining that I would not be interested personally in buying a stock where the insiders are dumping the fuck out of it. I can't recall seeing another stock where insiders were dumping the hell out of it that much. Okay? You'd have to go back to the .com. But the point is that I was trying to show that Tom, when he's pumping something, he doesn't know what he's doing. If you are trying to analyze a stock, and nobody, by the way, nobody on ScamTube pointed out this massive insider selling. You're talking about insiders selling billions of dollars over a period of 1 year. Okay? Over a period of 1 year. Don't you think that's relevant? The whole point was this is very important. This is a warning sign. And what happened when they dumped all that stock? By the time they dumped it all, not a few weeks later, a couple of months later, the stock was down by around 95%, as I showed in the chart. That's the whole point, okay? That's the exact point. The point wasn't to say, oh, Palantir is never going to do anything. No, that's not the fucking point. And you got to be a fucking idiot to come to that conclusion, like this guy. Let me show you here. Because I want to show you the response. Okay. So you can see here, his whole thing is, well, Palantir's up a lot by then. It doesn't fucking matter, you dildo. That's 3 years fucking later. You got it? I'm not giving any type of forecast for Palantir. I'm just telling you what's going on is very scary to me. You understand? Right? I don't cover Palantir. I don't know it. I don't care. I'm just telling you what is going on. You see? This is the stupidity this is why I'm not going to even deal with any comments anymore. You guys you're going to leave stupid comments. You're not going to waste my time. Fuck no. You're not going to leave disinformation. I'm not going to let you print it. And I'm not going to waste my time educating you, responding to it anymore. It's all constantly a bunch of fucking idiots, you all people are. A bunch of fucking idiots. Okay, take a look. Okay. So, by the way, your hard argument with, what's my hard argument with Palantir? My hard argument was they're fucking insider selling. It's not good. It's terrible. Okay? You understand? This is how stupid this guy is. I mean, what's wrong with your fucking head, Marco Polo? This is what I'm talking about. This is a typical fucking dumbass on YouTube. Go through and watch the video yourself and see for yourself. The whole focus was you've got the CEO who's cashing out, and at that time the market cap was, I don't know, 15 billion maybe, I don't know, 20 billion, I don't know what it was. But the amount of insider selling, Peter Thiel himself sold over, 1 month, $500 million worth. Okay? And Peter Thiel sold like $1.52 billion over the course of 2 years. That's the whole point. That's a very scary thing. You don't want to see that. And what happened? The stock collapsed by about 95% since they began selling. That was the point, dildo. You see? Folks, this is the type of... I don't have time for this nonsense. You understand? And that's why I'm not going to let people post disinformation on my fucking channel. Because other stupid people aren't going to catch it. And they're going to believe the same thing. And I'm not going to correct you. You're wasting my fucking time. Do you all understand that? Everybody understand that? Fucking idiots. You fucking stupid. I'm just telling you, this is the typical stupid person with cognitive dissonance, confirmation bias. They can't even go through and listen to and absorb and understand a basic argument. All they see is, oh, well, you're saying bad things, and then look, 3 years later, it's really high. My whole argument had nothing to do with that. And I point out here, let's take a look here. You better own it just to make you look better instead of diminishing it. It doesn't mean Tom Nash pumped it for any better reasons. Okay, make me look better. I suggest you learn who the fuck I am before you make ignorant comments. I'm one of the leading analysts in the world and probably the best. Instead of making ignorant comments, you might watch the videos I posted on Nash because I'm sure you'll learn a great deal. My argument with Palantir is 100% valid. Only an idiot buys a stock where the founder and CEO are dumping like crazy. The stock collapsed by 95% after insiders dumped it. Got it? That's the whole point. That's it. That's it. I wasn't coming out, analyzing Palantir. I was coming out with a point. That was a point when Tom Nash was pumping Palantir. And of course, when it collapsed, he no longer covered it anymore. He stayed silent. I want to point that out because there's a lot of stupid people out there.